Welcome, everyone, to Mental Skills for CFC Academy. My name's Eric Panzer, and I'll be delivering a 5 session mental skills plan for all the Academy players, coaches, and managers. This will be available for you via these videos, and there will also be worksheets that are connected to each video. This is part of player development from a personal standpoint, not from a technical or a physical or tactical standpoint. Welcome to session one. Today's focus is on individual values. Focusing on individual values, we're going to explore what is important to you. We're not exactly going to be focusing on soccer. It's more about focusing on what's important to you as a human, as a person in daily life. So values and behaviors, your values are significant influences of behavior. You behave in certain ways that are relevant to what is important to you. So your values are what you base your life off of. They're your foundation. They're the driving force behind what you do. They um, they're the driving force behind your behavior. So knowing and reflecting on what is valuable to you and outlining those is a great place to start and build this foundation, because your values and what's important to you is really going to determine the behavior that you show each day, and what and it will lead you to what's really important to you, and what you're doing. Yes, I know you guys are, or a lot of the academy players are young, and that's okay. It's okay to start young. It's at any point, it's great to figure out what's important to you and why it's important to you. And say something that might be important to you at 10 years old, come to 13 years old, you might have something different that's important to you. And then the same again when you get to 15 or 16. Other things might be more important to you. So just understanding this, it allows you to keep growing and changing, and that's what life's all about. So reflecting on what's important to you now is crucial, but then also being able to reflect upon what's important to you in a couple of years down the line, and if things have changed, and understanding what's changed, why they've changed, that's great as well. And that will give you a lot of good grounding behind your behaviors. So identity, your values will give you an identity, and vice versa. So identity is really how you see yourself. Understanding your identity is about understanding who you are and who you want to become. So knowing your values and what's important to you leads you to knowing who you are, and also those values should also lead you to who you want to become. So you have this clear idea of this person that you're becoming and who you want to be each day. So just some daily reflection questions. Hopefully you've got a pen and paper handy, notebook or whatever. If not, hit pause on the video and get some paper so that you can make some notes. But some daily reflection questions that you might like to have in a place where you can look at every day or once a week or whatever, and you can ask yourself, today was I who I'm striving to become? And today, did I behave in ways that reflect what I value? So today, was I doing things that are reflective of what's important to me? Did I say, if friendships is very important to me today, did I engage in quality friendships, or was I nice to people? Did I do that? And if who I want to become, say you want to become more of a compassionate person, once again, today was I behaving in ways that would lead me to becoming that compassionate person? So was I nice to people? Did I give people the benefit of the doubt? Did I not judge people? and just took people for who they were. So those are some just reflection questions. Obviously, your examples could be completely different. Those are just some ideas that I had. So this is really a crucial part of this whole session. And what's on this list is not the be all end all. What's important to you is what's important to you. These are just some examples that I've thought of, that I've seen from different lists of values. What's important to you could be completely different to anything on this list, and that's great. It's just important that you explore this and you take down all sorts of ideas that you have around what's important to you. So the examples there are family or health, education, friendship, soccer, empathy, responsibility. These are all just ideas. Some you might agree with that they are important to you, but there might be other things in your life that you find more important, and that's great. That's why we're doing this, and that's why I want you to explore all sides of it and figure out what's important to you to help you be you. So, with the worksheet, you're going to write down all the ideas that come to your mind when you think of what's important to you. I think I want you to take some time with that. Write down all the ideas that come to your mind right now, but then let it sit for a few days. And when you're just going about daily life, just thinking about different things, think about sometimes different things that might be important, and something might pop up, and that's great. You might be doing something, you're like, oh, this is actually really important to me. Or you might see someone that's really important to you, things like that. And then take some more notes and add to that list, so that list can keep growing. And when you feel like you've got a good substantial list, choose which ones you think are most important to you. So maybe a top 5 or a top 7 or a top 10 that are really important to you, and then you'll work with those ones. Once you've got your top 5 or top 7 or top 10, then we can go about answering questions that explain for you more about that value. So why is that value important? What does that value encompass? And who is involved in that value? And those are 3 questions that will give you a lot of substantial backing to this value. And so it's not just you saying, oh, this is important to me. It's you saying, this is important to me, and this is why, and this is what is involved, and this is who is involved. So once again, it's giving you a lot of roots to a certain behavior. So you're not just doing something on the surface. There is a lot of meaning behind it, and there's more than just a behavior. There's value behind that behavior too. So I'll give you an example here. So personal health. Say I chose this value. Why is personal health important to me? Well, it allows me to play sports. It allows me to explore an adventure. It allows me to complete daily tasks such as walking and cooking without any pain. So why is personal health important to me? Simply, it gives me the ability to physically do things that I enjoy doing and I want to do. What isn't incorporated in personal health? So a good diet, consistent sleep patterns, exercising consistently that's not detrimental to my body. These are just things that I've chosen. For you, personal health, the different things might be they might be different. But then also, personal health incorporates my mental health. So what is needed is taking some time for myself, meditating, reading, disconnecting, being able to just not worry about anything, or not stress about anything sometimes. So that's what does the value encompass? And then who could support me in this, or who might be involved in this? If I was, say, at the age of some of the academy players, between 9 to 16, potentially my parents would be able to support me in terms of they could monitor my food and sleep and rest. They could hold me accountable. And then also at the age that I'm at now, my coaches could encourage healthy habits. So figuring out who can support you, who can hold you accountable, is a great thing to each value. But it's also the who question might just be someone that's involved in the value, and it doesn't mean they're necessarily holding you accountable or contributing. They might be the value. So if your value is family, who in your family is valuable to you, sort of thing. So um, the who isn't just about having someone that can hold you accountable. The who also might be certain people that are within the value itself. So, just final thoughts on this. Take your time going through this process. As I said, like you've got, you could go through your day or through a week, and different things will pop up that you think, oh, that's important, and make a note of it. Seek help from your parents and your friends. See what they think they see as important to you each day. In terms of their view of it, they might have a different view than you. So their opinion could always be beneficial. And then don't be afraid of what you might discover. I've found sometimes that I've discovered some surprises and some things that I didn't expect in terms of when I was looking and diving deeper into my values. Some things I thought were more important were actually less important, and some things that I didn't think were as important were actually quite high on my list. So don't be afraid of that, and stay honest with yourself as well. And then also just enjoy the adventure of exploration. Um, it can be a challenge, but it can also be quite fun to figure out what's actually important to you and what you enjoy. So thanks for joining session one, and hopefully you find some value in it and take some notes, do some reflection, and work through the worksheet whenever you've got time, in your own time, when you feel ready. And I look forward to session two.